jumping into a quick recap, the last encounter, you had burst in to the Flask and Cauldron apothecary. You had battled several shiver enhanced lambs running around, the kids running about, one of which was an enlarged lion person and was much larger and more aggressive than anyone you'd ever encountered before from the shiver. Fortunately, he was not much of a threat because Zario was able to spit up his stomach acid all over him and entangle him, so he barely got to attack or move before you were able to dispatch him. You had barricaded the door and locked it, but it was knocked down by a charging rhinoceros, and you were able to fight the rhinoceros and bird person that came through. Unfortunately, one of the attacks hit a large cauldron, spilled it all over the bird person, and turned him into a giant dire toad. Fortunately, you were able to best the toad before he could consume one of you as he tried to swallow Zario whole. And it looked like you were making short work of all the monsters, took them all down, just as your party started to burst into flames as bombs were thrown into the building. And they had a very unique and uncanny ability to shape where the flames would go, and they would continue to burn into the flesh and catch you guys on fire. You are able to presume that this is the alchemist, Yargan, that runs the operation here. And Zario seemed to have some sort of history with him and was talking back and forth with him. There was a little bit of a parlay going on, and when it looked like your group was not going to surrender, Yario turned up the heat, started burning you guys all alive, and you were incapable of harming him. He has magical shields and enhancements upon his body. You have stalled right now. It is Yargan's turn. He has a wounded, I believe, 0 hit point Chubbs laying at his feet, right? Because you were on fire and had to roll out the flames.
Sounds right.
Yeah, so Yargan has a readied action to drop a flask of fire upon Chubbs if he sees anybody make an aggressive move. And that is his round. Zario, you are up.
All right. Zario is, so he's still kind of kneeling on the ground with his rapier next to him, kind of looking a little befuddled maybe, and just kind of still staring at the ground. He says, "Why? I tried to save them. I tried to keep them safe. I tried to do good. How could I have let this happen? I've doomed us? Aristil? Aristil, is this your doing? Why, of course it would be, wouldn't it? I must have strayed too far, didn't I? But I had to. I needed to. You abandoned me. You've abandoned us. I couldn't save them. Couldn't keep them safe. Doomed us. I've doomed us."
All right. Anything else besides a crisis of faith?
That's it. He's lost at the moment.
Zario is collapsed on... Well, he had to stand up on top of a counter, too, in order to reach Bjork to heal him. So you have basically just collapsed onto this table. And Tao, you're watching your party fall apart. What do you do?
Stand back. Stand down. And he's just gonna. I think he has maybe a spear out that he's. I'm assuming, or maybe he'll take a 5-foot step back. Maybe I already have done several 5-foot steps back.
Yes, you have inched your way into the building to get away from
further,
fire.
I don't think I'll have any good view. So maybe I'll just try to walk up to Zario in this. I don't know if I have a spear, so I'll just say I don't. Maybe I was running around and such.
I think you did have your
I'll
spear,
give
because that's what
Zario-
you stabbed the bird guy with.
Okay. I'll tap Zario with my spear and say, "Get up. This isn't the time. There's still a chance."
I couldn't save them.
We stand down.
Keep them safe. Doomed us.
Tao, your words fall upon deaf ears. All right, the confused kitty, the lynx, needs to roll a D100. Treha, please roll.
Oh no.
This could be very important, because if you take a hostile action against Yargan, he might just decide to firebomb you all. All right, a 57 is deal 1d8 points of damage plus your strength modifier to self. So you claw at your flesh. Would you say this is probably like a moment of out of body experience? Like you don't even recognize your flesh, and maybe you're tearing at it because you don't even know where this cat has come from? Like, what's going on in the befuddled mind of Treha?
Probably doesn't even know where she's at. She's an old lady. She's not used to psychoactive drugs like this. She probably thinks she's an alien, and I don't know. Everyone is a walking toaster strudel.
Okay, so she is having a bad trip and needs to be calmed down. Can you roll a d8 and add your strength modifier? Oh, and if you look at your character sheet...
Chemical catnip.
Oh my god, why did you roll so high?
Well, the good thing is I knocked myself out.
Well, that's good. Okay. So what are you... How much did you end up doing to yourself with your strength modifier?
5.
Oh, okay. All right. So you are now unconscious and bleeding on the ground. She claws horribly at herself. Where do you think you're clawing? Is it like you're just clawing at your arms, clawing at your face? Probably just everywhere.
Probably everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, I mean, that was a lot of damage. It probably got
Yeah.
neck or something.
Yeah. Woof. All right. Bjork?
Can Bjork do a sense motive on this character here?
Yes.
He
Yeah.
wants to get a feel for if he's like gonna kill Chubbs, like if he's just gonna flee if we don't do anything else to him. Just trying to figure that out before he guns it.
With that roll, he's holding. He could have dropped the bomb already. So he's kind of watching to see what all of you do first. And he looks kind of skittish and frail, but he is completely unharmed and magically enhanced. So he looks like he's got the upper hand. So he's probably kind of got this air of superiority about him. Like maybe if you guys would have hit and done some substantial damage, he either would have fled or, bargained for surrender. But he looks like he's got control.
Shoot him right in the face.
Let him drop that bomb right on Chubbs.
I'll shoot the bomb so it blows up in his face.
True. And he was trying to get us to stand down or just to leave.
Yeah.
Or like he wants us to submit to him.
Yep. Yeah. He was only talking to Zario, and the gist of
Just to Zario.
Yeah, the gist of it was, you killed my men. I think you could still be useful. Surrender and we'll talk. If you keep fighting, I'll kill you.
Alright, Bjork sets his bow to the ground and is like, all right. Chill, man. Like, bombs are no joking matter. And he sets his bow down and steps to the side over here.
All right.
It's like, we can talk things out with preferably less explosives.
Finally, you are all starting to see the folly of your actions. What will you do, Shark? He sees you flailing about as you're snuffing out the rest of the flames. It is your turn.
As a zero health person.
That's how you identify now, yes?
Person-ish.
Yeah.
Oh wait, somehow well, I guess I have 1 health on my sheet.
Oh, that's right. You do have 1. Yeah, because we forgot to add 1 from the level from a Cure Light Wounds.
Oh, sweet, so I can try to chomp him.
You could, but he has a readied action. He has the bomb it's held right above your face.
Yeah, am I prone?
You are
Like,
prone.
getting up would be...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a move action to stand up, and then you could take a standard to bite.
Get him.
Chubbs, fall back. Fall
You
back.
don't want to see me die.
If you attack while you're on the ground, you have a -4 to your chomp, so it'd be better to stand up first if you wanted to
Okay.
chomp.
I'm gonna stand up.
Okay. He's eyeing you warily.
Take a step back and unrage.
Yeah.
Sharks don't like fire.
All right. So you
A
come.
water animal.
So you come out of rage.
Fire it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna unrage.
All right. Wow. I think this is the first time we've ever seen Chubbs end a rage while combat was still ensuing. So.
I think so.
He's a bit tough. He's lost his spirit.
All right.
Yeah.
Put him out of his misery.
He says,
Well, he
"Excellent,
at least suspects it.
excellent. Yes, yes. Well, you do have a nasty bite. I saw what you did to my men, but it looks like some sense was able to be beaten into you. You look like one of the little lambs. Maybe I could see a future for you too." And he kind of gives you this creepy eye and kind of sizes up your body, and he's seeing the usefulness of your little hands and how they could get into the backs of his equipment and work his alchemy.
I'll get into the back of your equipment for a hard candy.
All right. Anyone taking another action, or are we out of combat now?
I mean, wait, is Treha bleeding out?
Yeah, I'm just asking if anyone's going to make an attack, or we can move just to the healing sort of phase. As in, someone could take a stabilizing action if they want to Treha. Heal or stabilize would work.
Alright, Bjork will go over to stabilize, unless anyone else wants to attack.
Do it.
Oop,
Nope.
not quite.
Yeah, DC 15, you got a 14. Anyone else got a heal in them? Or a healing spell?
Do I need to roll a
Zario
save now?
does, but he,
Let's see. If Zario, he might still be
I
in
was
the...
going to say, Zario's going to need someone to shake him out of his stupor, though.
Yeah. Tau?
I believe, by the rules of the game, I was trying to remember this. I have 2 spells per day of first level, and I think I have a bonus spell.
Yeah.
So I think I've already done 2 Cure Light Wounds, and I did a Cure Light Wound potion.
Yeah. That sounds right.
I would be very reticent to use my third. I'm going to wait it out for now and see
Okay.
what's happening. I don't know if I
You could do a heal check, which can also stabilize.
Let me double check if I have heal. I was thinking about that too. I don't think I've done it before. I may not be real trained. Ba-dum-bum. It's not a class skill for me.
I think you can still attempt it, though, right?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'm not very good with this.
You might get lucky. You basically just got to put your hand to that bloody wound on her neck. Yeah, it's not a prohibited skill. Like handle animal, you can only attempt if it's trained. If you have a rank in it, heal you can attempt.
Tell me what to do, Bjork. And he will listen to whatever Bjork tells him to do.
First, get a Wiener Schnitzel. Do you have any on you?
This would be good for me.
Press the Wiener Schnitzel into the open wound.
Tao takes a bite of it first.
And after.
Contamination! Bjork throws it out of his hands and gives him another one.
With
To staunch with.
With the 17 roll, it's a marvel, but somehow Treha is stabilized and de-transforms. You see her body kind of shrivel back upon itself and turn into the old, passed-out woman.
She looks so feeble and sad.
You all think. You see Yargan, he moves in. He looks very happy with himself, with a condescending look about the group. He kind of sneers about, and he steps up to Zario. And, of the crew, it's probably most surprising that it's Yargan that tries to snap you out of your stupor. He does it with a diplomacy check. That's a 16, so probably, I don't know, it's probably like moderately successful, or maybe like at least alerts you to what's going on. But he comes up to you and he says, There. We've all encountered our own obstacles from time to time, but you have a spark of greatness in you. I'm quite amazed that the rest of these scrubs were able to accomplish so much, but you, I see a bright future in. Come along. We've got work to do. Would you say that's successful, though? 16's not super high, especially who it's coming from.
I think it's enough that Zario kind of, probably at this point, feels resigned enough. I don't know that he'd give a response. I think he'd kind of stand up and just kind of lump along, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
With the 16 feels appropriate.
All right. Yargan looks about the room and he says, Well, might as well come in, Shark Boy. Make yourself comfortable. We have much to talk about. And once you come in, he gestures to the door that's busted off its hinges and on the ground. If you would, there's a draft.
Do I have to roll to?
No,
assemble the door?
you're strong enough you can lift it up. It's definitely not going to sit right until it's repaired.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can easily just kind of like prop it into place.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do that.
All right. Piece of cake. He's like, excellent. And he fishes in his pocket and he pulls out a hard candy for you and just thrusts it at your face.
Oh, okay. I take it and then I wink back at him.
Oh no.
He's like, there's a good lad. And he goes over to his room and he fishes around for something on one of the counters and he comes back a moment later He comes over to the downed Treha, and he hands a potion over to Bjork, and he says, "Administer this to her. I don't want to say all of this twice."
Bjorn gives it to her.
All right. You heal 7 points of damage as a Cure Light Wounds flows through you.
Ooh.
Well, her eyes flutter open and she groans.
Yes, yes. Visiting hours are almost over, old one, but we still have a little more to discuss, and then you can rest. He heads back to the other side of the room just so he can kind of keep his eyes on all of you at once.
She really wants to stab him in the leg.
Well, Zario, if you would be so kind as to get off of my table.
Zario, go ahead and step off the table. Kind of sit back on the ground at this point.
Still kind of out of sorts.
A little bit still.
Yeah. The alchemist looks over at all of you and he says, "Well, I don't know what brought you all here, but it seems like you've all been mistreated in some way or another. Something has bolstered your resolve and brought you into a very dangerous world that you're not even aware of. I am Yargan Balko. As you can see, I am a master alchemist. And you have stymied my operations. I have dreams of grandeur, and I will not be thwarted. I will achieve, in this life or the next, what it is that I desire. And you have taken my assistance from me. Now, please, tell me, what is it that you want? Perhaps we can work out some sort of arrangement." He looks about the room.
I was looking around at everybody. Talk to him. I think we all want to stab him.
Yes, yes. Save the mean mugging for later. What is it that you want beyond that?
We really need to stab Gadrin.
Ah, there we have
We were never that interested in you. You were the middleman.
You see that
What happens to
he
you,
looks
I don't-
he looks
I-
very
we
hurt
don't-
when you say that he's the middleman. But he gestures for you to continue.
I don't know much of what you're doing here. But we're not in this business. We're not your competitors. This is more personal. Between us and Gadrin.
Yes. Yes. Well, it seems like we have something that we can work towards then. You see, I require my lab to be repaired. And I also wish Gadrin dead. I can help you with that, at least somewhat. If you will do this for me, I will bolster your efforts and tell you where to go. The ship that comes once a week delivers one of the precious ingredients that I need to make the shiver. It's coming very soon. There will be a shipment coming, and then I will have my new batch. But I need my lab ready, and I cannot be behind schedule. this lab stops for no one. I will be able to recruit new workers, but I need you to get the lab back in order. I'll supply you with funds to replace what you've damaged. And Zario here will be my lab assistant until it's time for you all to go and find Gatrin. And I'll sweeten the deal with providing you a few potions to bolster you in your next encounter. I don't want you to fall against Gatrin. I want him dead as much as you do, maybe more. How does that sound?
We're missing our friends and our family. Where does he keep them?
I don't know his precise location anymore. He has grown wary of me. I believe he suspects that I wanted him dead. He's changed location several times over the last few months. I know some of his old hideouts, but I've had my spies look into it, and they haven't seen any sign of him around there. But the ship, they would know. The captain of the ship, he is a Shawanti man, and he was raised in the service of Gatrin. When he ran away from home, he was one of the little lambs, and then eventually became the captain to go and fetch special ingredients for the shiver. If you can ask him, he will know precisely where Gatrin is, because he has to get the shiver ingredients from him every week. Well, any other questions?
York looks at Zario, trying to gauge his reaction to that. Like, Zario, are you okay with this?
Zario kind of blinks at Bjork and looks back at Yargren. Finally stands up and takes I guess he's next to Yargren, but looks at Yargren and says, "We don't like this, but we will do this in the effort to get closer to Gadrin. But mark my words, Yargren, you will die, and you will die at my hands. Vengeance will take its toll." And then turns and starts to walk away.
Ah, yes. I love the bravado, but I need you to stay put. You've killed all of my men, and I don't trust any of these other buffoons with my precious remaining equipment. They will go run the errands. You and I will set things right here, and then you can all go about your way and find Gatrin. Then we'll see what happens down the road.
There's nothing too set right here. We'll run our party how we choose to run our party, and whoever's the right person for the task will run those tasks.
He looks about you and he says, "Very well, I'll humor you. Who amongst you is trained in alchemy?"
Treha shrugs.
York shrugs, starting the wave.
Stop drugs. He's a little late.
I can turn halflings into sharks. But otherwise,
What did you just say? Any halfling?
okay, just the one halfling many times.
Oh.
Zario kind of acknowledges this and says, appears I may be best suited to this task, much as I may despise it at the moment.
Well, I don't know if it is much like cooking, but I could possibly help as well.
Perhaps. Some skill in that area might be useful. The rest of you. And he pulls out a parchment and a quill, and he starts jotting things down. And he puts prices next to everything. And then he pulls out a purse, and he hands it to Chubbs, and he hands you a note. He says, "Here's a list of everything that I need to continue my operations. And here is a purse of 200 gold. Yes, you've destroyed that much or more of my equipment. Now I need you to go to the market, make it there and back by tomorrow. I know it's going to take some time since everything's, held up or closed or odd hours due to the celebrations of the king's birthday. But that's neither here nor there. That's just what we have to deal with." As for...
We'll do our best.
All right. So do you other folks head out, start working on the list?
Well, I suppose old lady starts hobbling with whoever's going.
Yeah. I feel like I'm the most dead here, and we have to do this like overnight in odd hours. This is great.
Yeah, Tal will do a perception to know what time of day it is. He looks up at the sky.
Oh, that's perfect. It is...
Your knowledge local.
It is probably a little bit after noon. It's pretty bright. You guys came over in the morning, but not first thing in the morning. And then it took you a little while to find the right building.
Mm-hmm. And the knowledge local was 24 in terms of the shop closures.
Yes.
The birthdays, it runs.
Yeah.
I think 2 or 3, or we're still leading up to it.
Yeah, so the birthday celebration runs for like a week.
It's already, yeah.
Yeah, it's already begun. And looking at...
Is there like an official big where peaks, or is that still coming up?
No, there's not exactly a peak. It's just there's going to be odd hours all throughout because people are going to be shutting down kind of constantly for it. But you think, since you have the whole afternoon and evening, you could probably find vendors. It just might be a little tricky. So you'll have to do some knowledge local checks once you get out and about. Or diplomacies in order to gather information to find the right booths.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Argrin, you got any more potions of healing? Our shark friend. He's our tough.
Yes.
Be strong.
Yes, he certainly is. Though I don't think I want to be bolstering this one any more than he already is. He's on his feet. Don't get yourself into any scrapes while you're out and about. Play the smart. I know that's going to be difficult for all of you. All right. He's eyeing you over. And he pulls out some tools for Bjork, and he says, "First things first, can you hammer this door back into place? I need to keep this a controlled environment. I can't have it falling over and ruining everything we're working on.
Bjork grabs the hammer and says, I was born for this. Gets to work on the door. Is that a check I need to make, or does he just get it?
Yeah, what would that best be? Probably maybe just like a wisdom check. Just because I don't think you have a craft skill that would be related to it.
He puts the door on
Profession.
upside down.
I thought you were born to work with sausages. George.
That was my father's side more so.
He shakes his head and he says, I'm already regretting this. Zario, please, help the half-orc. We're going to be here all night.
Zario will walk over, give Bjork a hand. Where is Wing?
Oh, no!
Bjork, I think you have it right.
First,
You put the door sideways.
first a 7, now a 6. He looks... Yargan looks baffled, and he just says, Oh no. You killed my boys, and this is what I have to work with. This is going to take forever. The rest of you, please, get going, unless you can be of some use with this door. Does anyone else want to try and set the door?
Is the wisdom check,
I
right?
can easily set the door. You stand back. Eh,
Wisdom check.
That's an 11 from Treha, who gets the door at least set right. Oh my gosh, a 7 from Esno. Chubbs, that candy might have set things right.
What does it
A
need?
wisdom check. There it is.
Oh.
16.
And this doesn't earn me a little healing potion.
It's, you look at him and smile and say that, and he says, "Oh, the heavens, please. All right, fine." And he walks up to you. He hands you a potion. Drink and be gone.
Wow, this is like our biggest benefactor yet.
Do you drink the potion?
Oh yes, I'll drink it and then.
All right, you regain 8 hit points.
Oh, Excelsior!
Very well. Right. Now, the rest of you, be gone. We have much work to do to clean this place up.
Thanks, Mister.
wow.
Chubbs rushes out with reckless abandon.
Oh yeah.
Tao, Treha, do you head out too?
She hobbles.
Yes.
All right. So he sets you to work first cleaning up. There's lots of broken glass and spilled bits of the shiver in various stages. And gets you doing that for a while. What's that roll? Are you healing more, Treha?
Yeah, she's healing herself.
Okay, once she heads out. Tao, you heading out too?
Yeah, let me see. That's where the shopping group is?
Yeah, they're just heading. If you just head outside.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. All right. The other two, while you're in there and cleaning and organizing things, roll a perception. Just while you're looking about the place. right. Zario, your 21 reveals a crumpled note under one of the tables. And it should be visible now if you want to read it to yourself, or you can read it to Bjork. Jargon's kind of like occasionally going back and forth into his room. Right now he's in his room and he's kind of working on something. So it's just the two of you on the ground, like cleaning up broken glass.
Where do we find the notes again?
If you scroll down just a little bit from the map, it now should be visible.
There we go. All right, I'll read it to myself first.
Okay. Bjork, your perception is good enough that you see Zario stop when he was sweeping something, and he bends over and picks something up, but you don't know what it is. Maybe you just picked up a piece of glass or some other like ingredient, but you're not sure what it was.
Yeah, Zario reads it and just kind of shrugs and tosses it Bjork's way. Like, not necessarily to Bjork, just kind of like this didn't mean anything to me, and tosses it his direction.
Bjork, you want to read it?
I ache to see you again, my lovely queen. Every hour spent apart from you is yet another hour of my pitiful, lonely existence wasted. I am a slave to my passions. The memory of your scent, jungle flowers and steaming rain haunts my every thought. And then crossed out, shall we meet again at the Sticky Mermaid tonight for Fistjack? Damn, must find better phrasing. Fistjack does not spell romance. Who's been reading, like, smut or something? I don't know. Zario, I didn't know that you were this kind of guy.
Zario kind of chuckles for the first time in quite some time, that was genuinely funny to him. Now that you say that, I wonder if that's an actual location, or if it's just something of a romance novel. Have you heard of a Sticky Mermaid? And maybe can we do a knowledge, local, or profession to see if you know of that place?
Yeah, in a knowledge local or your profession would work. Actually, Bjork, your profession would also work.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. 16 cooking. Your 17 local work, Zario. So you know that this is in the worker district. It is a very rundown, low-life bar. So it is a real location.
Does the handwriting match any of the other handwriting throughout here? Just wondering if it's the alchemist's handwriting.
I could do a linguistics check to see.
Yeah, do a linguistics. Yeah, there are lots of little scribbles and notes all around the room on different pages. 24. It is an exact match. The way he does all of his little swirls on his letters, they all sync up.
And remind me, who are the prior letters from again?
So these are just the little, so you've matched this note with all the little notes you find as you're cleaning up the place.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought you were referring, I misheard. I thought there was one from a prior session.
I'm not sure who kept all those notes. Would that have been you or Tao? Because you did have notes from the rookery from the church. Because Split Hog Popper was sending out notes back and forth. Who would have had those notes? Is that you or Tao?
I think Zario.
No, okay.
Probably would have been me, given the linguistics and just being able to inspect this stuff.
Okay, you actually, with that linguistics, since it's 24, you're able to match it up to one of the notes that's cryptically written, I'm in, once G is out.
Interesting. Zario kind of holds his hand out to Bjork to take the letter back, knowing that.
Jordan gives it.
Kind of tucks it away in his pocket.
All right. Nicely done. For the role play, playing your characters well, excellent reading, and the linguistics knowledge, piecing it all together, I'm going to give both of you guys inspiration.
Night.
Ooh.
And just so that they will get used, we will use them so you can use it as a reroll option if you want. But you have to declare it before you know the result of the roll. So like if you roll a 5 and you're like, I'm definitely going to fail this will save probably unless I reroll, you can turn in your inspiration for that.
Solid.
So we'll keep the economy of these things flowing.
What is the economy? Anyone keeping track?
Hopefully you guys are writing them on your character sheet, like in your equipment would probably be good, or...
Yeah,
I
just
think
been
it was-
putting
I've just
other
listed them.
gear.
What's our
And can we
talent?
use the inspiration as inspiration if we didn't want the reroll? You're just giving us the option of either.
It's like a hero point inspiration, so it's just a D20 reroll.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Not for your class inspiration.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So the shoppers out and about, you guys need to roll some knowledge locals or professions or something in order to find all of the right ingredients and equipment. Because if not, it's going to take you a lot of time. So for the first check, we're going to replace, we've got equipment, the ingredients, and it looks like tools. So like the equipment as in the beakers, vials, cauldrons, the tools that have also been damaged, and then the ingredients. So the three different things. What do you guys want to roll on first?
Probably the tools. That'd be an easy one.
Okay. All
You
right.
said that's a knowledge.
Knowledge local should work for basically all of these, and then you might be able to use your professions or some other skill
Okay.
if you prefer. All right, you all did quite well on the tools check. So knowledge local, Trejas 24, Tao's 20, perfect. Chubb's 10. Chubb's is along for the ride. He can carry things. Chubb's a little distracted by all the food carts, and so one of the interesting things about the birthday celebration, and of course the locals in town would know this, maybe Chubbs hasn't seen this too often because he's been out at sea, and that's why he's getting distracted. There are a lot of scantily clad women and most likely prostitutes displaying their wares and celebrating with people in the streets. So it is very distracting.
Celebrating in the streets?
Oh, yeah. So do a knowledge nobility, if anyone has it. Or knowledge local if you don't have knowledge nobility.
I love prostitutes showing their wares.
Nice. Okay. Knowledge nobility. Chubb's got a 16. You guys got 14s. That's good enough to know. It's pretty common knowledge. Until the king was married to his recent bride, Queen Iliosa, he was a very, very known womanizer. And he frequented basically every brothel, and one of his most common gifts to lords and ladies that he liked was to bestow upon them prostitutes. And he had them at every major event until he got married.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
So he is probably most beloved by the brothels in the city. Other than that, he's kind of known as just like an average king. Doesn't get you into too many wars, doesn't tax too much, but he's most extravagant with parties, and he was known for his vices. But ever since he settled down a couple of years ago with the queen and looked forward to trying to have an heir, he's backed off from that lifestyle. But the populace still continues to celebrate in the way that he would have liked. All right, so with your rolls, you are able to secure the tools just fine. Next, ingredients, or like the vials, the glasswork, everything else. What are you rolling for?
Or the last bit of your sentence cut off. I didn't hear.
Oh, sorry. It's so you need two other items still: the ingredients for the shiver materials, or the glasswork.
Let's get the glasswork.
Okay. You'd probably
Let Chubbs go alone and get the
the ingredients.
materials.
These are all the other materials besides the super special ingredient. These are all like the normal, like herbs and spices and different liquids that get added to the concoction as it cooks, as it brews. Not the psychoactive part.
How many herbs and spices are there?
At least 11.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right. Tao's got knowledge local. Oh, that's a 26. Treehouse 24. Chubbs once again at 10. He is still distracted by the ladies and how flexible they are. So he kind of gets pulled in to some of the dancing that's happening out in the streets. And he has to kind of fight his way through the crowd. And you two are actually going in and buying the glasswork. So you have secured the second to last item. You still have a third thing to get on the list, which is all of the ingredients. So this would be like going to different butchers. There's little cuts of meat, like specialty meats that are included in it for some of the flavors and smells. There's lots of spices. So another apothecary.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my profession for the allergies.
I'm gonna try to find some good spices for Bjork's sausages.
Yes.
I'm trying to think a good knowledge roll for the spices. Maybe geography. Spices come from all over.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, because you would know like maybe the different regions where they would come from. So you go to different booths from different locations. All right. Okay. We've got Tao's 18. That's gonna work. That'll do it for you. Treha, with your knowledge 8, you get a little distracted. You see some children playing in the street, and there's a game that they're playing, and it reminds you of two children in particular that you saw years ago playing a similar game of the curse of the Crimson Throne. And this boy and girl are going back and forth about it, and you get pulled in for a moment, and you're brought back to a time years and years ago where the little girl screams, "I'm the queen! You have to listen to me!" And the little boy shouts back, "Well, maybe I'll rise up against you. The poor paupers might have power someday, maybe we'll take the throne. And then they get into a big scuffle, and they start pushing and shoving and trying to bite at each other. And then you're brought back into real life where they're really doing that in front of you. And now you see these different children that don't look familiar to you. But they are still fighting.
So eloquent just a minute ago. Now they're biting. She'll shove a piece of hard candy in each of their mouths. Those damn kids get.
Well, with that, the universal symbol for shutting children up in this town, you get a point of inspiration as you are brought back strong memories of the past and hopefully the ability to correct them if you see them in the future.
So give the kids a nice lecture about fighting before she goes on, because she's an old lady.
All right. Folks back in the lab, if you can roll your profession for Bjork and craft alchemy for Zario. Ooh.
Oh, snap.
9 cooking for Bjork. So you're struggling. He's having you basically just boil water and get some...
He's sneaking schnitzel in the water as he's boiling it.
Yeah,
just to give it a better aroma.
He keeps coming back over and slapping your hands as you're trying to like add different things that do not belong in the vials. He's like, no, you buffoon! Oh my gosh, this is atrocious.
Everyone loves wiener water.
But it tastes so good.
We're not making schnitzel for the last time. Go in the garden and find these herbs, and he hands you a list. He just tries to shoo you out.
Alright, he tromps off to the garden.
Zario, with your 15, you're able to kind of piece together some of the notes, and you're starting to see the bigger picture. You think it would take you quite a bit longer, or maybe you'd have to like look at more notes or any other items he might have in his room that he kind of keeps going back and forth to. But you're starting to take shape of this, and you are seeing the truth of it. He really is a master alchemist. You think that you could make the original shiver yourself. You think you might even be able to make this first form that turns people into the creatures. You don't know how he's accomplishing what he's been able to do in order to transform them into that stage beyond, that giant lion. In mechanical terms, the DC is incredibly high to be able to make those higher levels of shiver. So just to create the shiver itself would be a DC 18, and the first form with magical transformations would be a DC 28.
Ooh.
So the second form, the giant lion that was created and that he's still trying to perfect, you think it's a DC 38 check. So in order to be able to accomplish that
That's crazy.
he must be phenomenal. And you're seeing other notes, and there's lots of like questions kind of written about and then scratched out, and then the pieces are kind of just tossed about randomly and haphazardly. You suspect that none of the little lambs could read, so he probably didn't really care to hide the notes. But you're able to kind of piece them together, and you suspect that he theorizes that there are greater forms that exist beyond what he created with the lion, and that can create magical or inhuman properties that even the creatures don't necessarily possess. But
So Chubbs really could get a mega evolution.
yep.
Ooh.
But right now they're theoretical. He hasn't been able to figure them out. He hasn't stabilized the lion transformation, but he's kind of gotten it down to the point where it seems like it can occasionally happen, and he only saves his best batches in order to do that. Do you say anything when he kind of comes back into the room?
Yeah, he will. He hasn't really said anything yet, but he's gonna just acknowledge Yargren and say, "Master Alchemist is what you've claimed earlier. That's so."
Well, you find a better one. I've never met such a man.
And what path took you to this, to where you've become a master at your craft?
Well, if you must know, it was my escape from being one of Gadron's little lambs. I didn't have an affinity for burglary or picking pockets. I had to use my mind for something else, something grander.
You threw yourself into the alchemy.
Yes, as you saw earlier. And now that it's been some time, some hours have passed, you don't see the shimmering outline around his form anymore, and you don't see the hardened skin, so that all of that's gone away. He says, yes, I've been able to enhance my mind and body to limits beyond what my human form could achieve on its own. And I'm just scratching at the surface. I shall be able to enhance it even greater someday soon.
Can I do a spellcraft just for comparison against what I saw when I saw that shimmering glow and he had the shield?
Oh, yeah. With an 11... I mean, you can just tell that the spell's no longer in effect.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Zarya's going to kind of take a mental note of it to start keeping an eye out for kind of that glow, not glow, just for now.
Okay. Yes. If you want, I could teach you. I wouldn't mind having an apprentice.
I'll accept your terms, but it doesn't change what I said earlier. You will die at my hands.
Yes, yes. We all must die. But first we must live. And he kind of looks hungrily, kind of past you, to the door, kind of towards the bay. He seems to be looking towards the harbor.
Which way is that on the map?
If I were to go back to the Corvosa map, let's see if you guys can see it now. Can you see the city map now? So
It's still loading for me. There we go.
there we go. Yeah. He's gesturing towards the harbor. He's kind of like looking out this direction.
Kind of like northwest of where we're at.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. There's greatness in you, Zario. I don't know about the rest of your allies that you keep about you, but there is great potential within you.
These are good people, too, that unfortunately were caught up in whatever else you've had going on. You never did say why it is that you've fallen out with Gadron.
Good people. No. I don't care about good or evil. I don't care that you might be considered good or I'm evil. It doesn't matter to me. I care about great people. Those that you keep about you, they might have ability to slay others, to fight. But that's not greatness. Anyone with a crossbow or a sword can kill someone. You and I, we can create. We can make what was not we can make others into something beyond what they could have ever dreamed for themselves. Look at the little boy. Look what he can do when he puts his mind to it now. He can turn into a monstrosity. What if we could do that for the whole city? What if we could control them? And you're kind of piecing together more and more of the notes, and it's almost as if his alchemy plus his magical abilities, like he's trying to fuse them. But he hasn't figured out how to do it yet.
I want to be
Yeah.
Dr. Doom.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, this is pretty much Dr. Doom. Trying to create some Doom bots.
You, Zario, you're young, you have time. Maybe, perhaps, I won't even be able to accomplish this feat. But someone must. The work must go on. He looks at your progress so far, and he kind of nods approvingly.
Zario's gonna do a bluff check, but Zario's gonna kind of, well, you've certainly piqued my interest here, and you've certainly made a case here. And he'll use a point of inspiration on this.
All right. I'll roll an opposed sense motive to see if he falls for it. He smugly nods, and he says, I knew you'd come around, Zario. There is greatness about you.
So the point of inspiration, sorry to take us out of the role play, is that just a point, or is it a reroll? It's a
So he has a class ability that he can add minor inspiration to all rolls.
That's what you were talking about before.
Mhm.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, if he wanted to use his like hero point inspiration, he could for a reroll.
Yep.
But yeah, he's got his little limited inspirations at hand. He has a fair number of those, I think, per day, right?
Yeah, I'm actually pulling it up now. I think it's like 6 or 7 a day.
Yeah, because your intelligence is pretty high. All right, and at that moment, the other 3, you all make it back safely. It is now late evening. Took you that long to get all the ingredients and all the supplies. He has you set them all up, and then he says, now go. I must continue my work, but you all need to rest. You have a very busy day ahead of you. So come back in the morning, and then I shall set you on the way. You shall go find the captain of the island oasis. So, you guys want to do anything else, say anything else before you head back? Either rest up at the inn or at the church or any other location you've got?
To the inn.
Yeah,
And,
probably the inn.
Oh, I also mutter something smells fishy. About finding the captain.
All right.
Yeah, rested.
Okay.
When they get back to the inn, Treha would inquire to Zario, how do you know that man? He seems so pathetic and full of himself.
Well,
He
he's
has something over you. So,
I can assure you he's a vile creature. Not so much that he's got something over me as opposed to what was done to me and my family.
yes, we must kill him.
Yes, I agree. I don't know how we would do this yet. He's certainly, I'll kind of relay the knowledge of what I've observed about just how powerful he does appear at this point. But yes, I don't really have a plan at this point, other than I may have to kind of ingrate myself to, or indebt myself, and hope to earn his trust.
Do you guys have any other healing that you can use this night, or are you gonna wait till the next day to see? So you'll heal up a little bit.
I
have
could
2 more
do
cure spells.
I believe I have.
If anyone needs.
I've done my spells correctly, but I used 2 already.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a bonus spell each day for first level, and I can pat on somebody's. I can pat on somebody. I'm patting on my drums. That one time I patted on York's chest. But the person I broke down is Chubbs, right?
All right. So who needs healing?
I am at not. Oh yeah, I'm like 17 points down from my.
Cool.
I mean, I'm level 2, but not that level.
I have 1 spell I can offer you, Chubbs.
Okay.
I appreciate it. So we can't rest.
You'll get 1 rest, yeah.
Oh, okay. That doesn't like.
But if you had any other
Only
healing,
heals 5.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
All right. And Tal, you said you've got 1 healing spell for somebody?
I might do it to myself. I'm at 4 HP.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Just 1d8 plus 1, eh?
Yeah, or plus 2. Plus your level, yeah.
All right. Because it's my own spell.
Yep.
Not a potion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 3 points.
All right. So that night, you guys go back to the inn, get some food, some drink. You see there's a haphazard game of Knivesies played, but it's over very quickly. It's just some drunks that get up, and they actually just end up falling off the table. One of them passes out, and the other one just hits his head on the table when he falls down. So the crowd, they kind of boo. And they're like, not nearly as good as when Chubbs did it the other day. Isn't that right, Longpole? And some people are trying to talk you into doing another fight, but they can see like how bloodied you are still.
I remember my first time. Yeah, we'll see. The price is right. Maybe, maybe in a month.
Gotta let the legend spread a bit.
Yeah.
You see the picture that was drawn of you, the portrait, it's hung up on the tavern wall. It's under the winners of Knivesies. And just the bloody portrait.
Stand at my full 3.5 feet and stand akimbo and beam with pride.
Everyone looks at it, and like some of the people that weren't there, they're looking at it, and they're like, this kid? He won the fight? Not this... What is it, like the spirit of a shark possessed him? And a lot of people aren't believing it. They're just laughing about it. And then some other people that were there that night, the regulars, to say, no. He turned into a monster. A monster from the depths, 10 feet tall, if he was 5. He was horrible to behold, but you should have seen what he did. Nearly took the man's arm clean off. Single bite. It goes like that the whole night. Some people are buying you drinks because they want to hear the story.
Oh, yeah. Can I get drunk in this universe?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, I accept these drinks and then tell people all about how great it is to turn into a monster shark and bite people.
And for regaling the crowd and lifting the spirits of your party with a little levity, you are granted a heroic inspiration. So you guys rest up for the night. You heal your level plus your Constitution modifier. You can do any more healing spells if you want. And I know we're getting close to time, so I'm looking for the stop. Don't worry, it's coming soon, very soon. Just want to get it to the next spot. From all of the ingredients that you kind of were able to find or work with out in the garden, did you want to try and do a cooking check, Bjork? Because there have been a lot of like herbs and spices and different like stores of food.
Yeah.
You could do one of your rolls.
Let's see. Well.
Oh, actually, so let's not do that roll, because first, people have to decide if they're going to take it first, and then you'll do the roll.
That's right.
Yeah. So if people want to eat his cooking, then we'll have them do the roll to see how it affects you for the day. So do folks want to try whatever it is Bjork makes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try it.
Party in agreement? Tao? Zario?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Zario's in.
Okay. So now, Bjork, give me a wonderful roll.
Best schnitzel you ever did have.
Oh, yes.
Can't hang a door, but he sure
damn.
can cook.
So, Bjork, with your 28 and the special ingredients that you were able to kind of squirrel away while in the garden and in the food cache outside, everyone will have a +1 to initiative rolls for the whole next day.
Ooh. Exciting.
Excelsior.
I'll put
As-
that in the chat to remember.
Yeah, you found enough stuff that seems to alter people's perception, and they're able to act just a little quicker. Basically, you made coffee. Super coffee. They're just a little jittery.
Espresso flavored schnitzel.
Yeah, espresso schnitzel. You hopped it up. Nicely done. All right. The next day, you come back. You see that the lab is kind of going to different stages. Yargen looks a little haggard. Looks like he might have been working all night, trying to get everything ready. And he sees your group, and he tells you the location of the island oasis. It's in the harbor district. You can't miss it. Once you get closer, you'll find it's a deserted part of the docks. It's meant to be that way. We pay the guards not to come near the area. So if any commotion's made, they won't trouble you. So once you make it to the docks, you need to get on the ship and get to the captain. You might be able to get lucky, sneak your way past his crew, or you might have to fight through them. I don't know. I don't really care. I know that you're good at dispatching these low-life men. But I have one request, and I will make it worth your while to heed this request. There is a woman, a first mate on the ship. Do not kill her. If you have to harm her, knock her out, but do not kill her. If you do this, he pulls out 3 potions. If you do this, I will help you with your quest. And a familiar halfling steps out from the shop. And you see it's Jolly Knob the halfling. He comes out and he says, hello everyone, hello, I'm here in case you want to sign the contract. So, what do you think? Seems like a pretty fair deal. He gives you potions, helps you out. You don't slay his woman. Yargan scoffs. He says, Jolly. Sorry. His beloved. Yargan slaps the halfling over the head. Sorry. His, friend. What say you? Sign the contract.
You all have at it. You know I don't like these.
It seems to me a rocky time at seas. Sometimes accidents just happen. I don't want to be beholden to that.
The 3 potions he pulls out. He hands them over for your inspection. And he says, they are 3 potions of cure moderate wounds. This will greatly aid you if you're encountering trouble along the way to Gadrin. Much stronger than that little fare that you can manage on your own.
Well, if we can't harm her, we gotta know what she does.
Well, you can. If you need to, she might be aggressive. She is a strong-willed one. You can knock her out, that's fine. Just sap her, don't kill her. She also might be a little difficult to fight. She's a feisty one. She's trained to fight with many weapons and hand-to-hand combat.
She a magic user too?
No, nothing of the sort. But she is incredibly dangerous. And you can see he's got like a grin forming on his face. But she has so much heart. And her skin is just wonderful. Chocolate. Incredible goodness. What do you say? 3 potions. Cure moderate wounds. Don't kill her. That's all I asked. You can knock her out. You can bribe her. I don't care. Here. He pulls out a coin purse with 100 gold. He says, She's a mercenary. Just bribe her. Tell her to go get a drink. Go for a jog. I don't care what you have to do. Gold, potions. Don't kill her. Everyone else, do with them as you please.
What'll she think? What'll she think if we mention your name?
Well, yeah, it's, we are friendly with one another.
Good enough for me.
Zario asks, he wants a sample of one of these potions to make sure it's legit. So
Yeah, you can
he
do,
says,
do a, spellcraft or, alchemy check.
I personally have to go. You got someone here?
Oh, okay, yep.
all right, I'll do a... Hang on. Am I able to take a sample of this?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like actually drink it?
Yeah,
Okay,
you just
I'll
you
take
put
a
your finger in
sample
it.
to drink and then...
Yeah. You can also do a craft alchemy. Works for potions.
Okay.
That's better. Oh yeah, that's good enough. Yep, 3 cure moderate wounds. So 2d8
Alright.
plus 3 hit points.
I'll probably have to bounce as well in a minute.
All right. Yeah, we're just finishing up this. It's just to see if you sign the contract. I guess we can leave it here, and you guys can think on it.
Yeah, we don't know. Well, she
Yeah.
said she won't.
Yeah, she doesn't want to sign it. So, yeah, why don't we end it here? You guys can decide next time if you want to sign the contract before heading out. Because Jolly and his contracts, they're pretty crazy. You haven't seen what happens if you go against the contract.
Right.
Yeah. We have to bring the woman back?
No,
or
you just
not kill her?
Just not kill her. That's all you got to do.
Oh,
Yeah, so you guys can think on that. Easy peasy.
Yeah. I'm sure handy with many weapons isn't like presaging like many hands with many weapons.
All right. We're all good to go. Catch you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sounds good.
GG, everybody.
Thanks for running it, dude.
Yeah. Thanks.